Hey guys, Ambience here. Today I'm going to be showing you how to get the good ending in Five Nights at Freddy's 3. So let's go ahead and get straight into it. So how this is going to work basically is the good ending is found through a bunch of completely nonsensical minigames that can be accessed through various puzzles that can be found within the main gameplay of FNaF 3. If you played through the game normally, you'd probably never know that any of these exist. So first things first, just go ahead and click New Game and start it up again. I'm assuming that you guys are probably doing this after you've already beaten the main game, but I don't know for sure. I'm pretty sure you can get it on the first playthrough, so if you want to get it from the start and not waste any time, then that's cool. Also, I'm not going to be showing you guys how to actually beat the main nights. I have made individual guides for each of these nights that focus on how to beat those, so be sure to go check those out if you haven't beaten the main game yet. This is your first playthrough, and you want to know how to get through those nights very quickly. Alright, so see you guys when we get to the first part that you actually have to do. Just sit here and do nothing on night 1, and the first part is on night 2. Alright guys, we are at night 2 now. This is the first time that you're going to have to actually do something different than if you were just playing the game normally and going for the bad ending. You can beat night 1 by just AFKing. There are no threats to you. I think Phantom Foxy's the only one that can actually spawn on that night, and it's extremely rare, and he can't even kill you. So yeah, you'll be completely fine to just AFK. Night 2 is a little bit more tricky. After doing the minigames, at certain points, you are going to have to beat these nights normally, by the way. Hold on, there's a ventilation error happening right now. I need to fix that. I'd recommend just doing this at the start of the night, by the way, so the ventilation doesn't fail and Springtrap has no chance of getting you. But anyway, yeah, so once you get into night 2, I have made guides for each one of these nights individually. You are going to have to beat them normally eventually, so if you haven't already, I'd recommend going and watching those. They will tell you exactly how you're going to beat each of these nights and tell you a lot about FNaF 3 in general. Alright, so now let's go over to Cam 8 on the monitor. And you see this BB poster over here, right where my mouse is, on the left wall. You're going to move your mouse where mine is and double click or double tap on mobile. I don't know exactly how that works, but I assume that it's just tapping instead of clicking, and basically the same. So now you're playing as BB in a 8-bit retro minigame. You can move around with WASD, and you're just going to do some basic platforming and get these balloons here. If you fall once or twice, don't be too embarrassed. Now what you're going to do is actually ignore this exit door, because this needs to be way more complicated, you know, hiding things and random stuff on the wall. No, that's not enough for Scott Coffin. He's got to go a bit deeper. So you're going to move over here to this top left platform, hold A, and jump with W, and you're going to fall straight down. So you're just going to keep falling, and then once you can, you're going to move to the right here. Just going to keep walking right, and you'll know when you have to do something besides just walk. You got these creepy statues or shadows or whatever you want to call them with the crying balloon boys that always seem to get brought up in theories for some reason. Still not sure about that one. So anyway, once you get to this part, you can just jump through this lower left wall over here. Then you're going to do some more basic platforming, and you're going to grab the big flashing balloon up there. And then we're going to move on to what we do next. Now, there's actually a second minigame that you have to play before beating Night 2, so I'm going to show you how to access that one real quick as well. So here's what you're going to do. You're going to go over to the right. You're going to pull up the monitor. You're going to go to Cam 7 this time. And you see this arcade machine with these buttons. Here's what you're going to do. So you're going to put your mouse right here. This will be the top left button in this sequence of 4. So you're going to put it right here, and you're going to left click. You'll see it light up a little bit. It might be a bit tricky to see because of static. You're going to move it down. You're going to left click on the bottom left button. You're going to move it up. Left click on the top right button. Move it down, and left click on the bottom right button. Now you're in a new minigame called Mangle's Quest, so go ahead and pick up your parts here and start walking forward. There's going to be this kid running around here. He has set pathing, so he's pretty easy to figure out. If he touches you, then you do get thrown out of the minigame, and you have to go back into it by doing what I just showed you. Oops, I missed that jump. You're going to have to collect all your parts, by the way, for the secret exit to become available. So you're going to walk over here, grab this, go back over here. Hopefully he doesn't catch me. Alright, we're fine, just barely. So after you collect all the parts, that might actually be a bit tricky, especially if you're not used to 8-bit platformers. Then you're going to go over here, and instead of going through the exit door, that's not going to fool us. We're going to go over here to the top right platform. Make sure you don't accidentally fall on the exit door. Better hold left if you do. Go over here and jump through the top right. So you're going to fall down. Keep falling. Start moving over to the left. There's the big crying puppet statue that always seems to be brought up in theories for some reason. So you're going to go over here, and there's these balloon platforms here. So you're going to go ahead and platform your way up here. Once you get to the top, then you'll move to another screen. And I fell off the balloon, because of course I did. It's been a while since I played these minigames, so trying to get used to the physics again. It actually can be a bit tricky sometimes, believe it or not. You can go through the platform, so don't worry about bonking your head. So you're going to go up here over to the top left. There we go. Walk forward, and you're going to jump here and pick up this cake. Alright, there we go. So that's the first part of what you need to do down. There's quite a lot to do on Night 2, but we are now done. So go ahead and beat Night 2 normally. If you haven't already, be sure to check out my guide for Night 2, as I will explain to you exactly how to do that. And I will catch you guys on Night 3 when there's more stuff to do. Alright guys, we're in Night 3 now, so here's what you're going to do now. You're going to pull up the monitor, go over to Cam 2, and right here, where my mouse cursor is, there's a little evil cupcake thing. You're going to left-click on that, and it's going to disappear. Now you're going to go over to Cam 3, and you see this cupcake right here. I think it's probably the easiest one to spot. Left-click on it, go over to Cam 4, see this one over here in the corner, click on that one. Over here to Cam 6, this one's on the arcade machine, click that as well, and a new minigame will start up, Chica's Party. So now you're going to go over to the right. Hopefully the audio on the game is actually picking up, by the way. It looks like it's like either very quiet or just not picking up for some reason, but the sound effects are coming through, so it's probably fine. Okay, so let's go over here, collect this. I don't know if you actually need to do this. It's been a while since I played this, so I'm kind of figuring this out along with you guys. Okay, you don't. You just need one of them. So go ahead and collect the one here. Then you're going to go down here, and where it looks like there's a pit, you're going to fall down. So this is another bait. Here's what you're going to do instead. You're going to go over here, jump to this platform on the left, and you're going to jump over this wall. You're going to fall down, and you're going to find the real mission here, the real kid, if you will, and you're going to jump and give him some cake as well. So that was quite a bit more simple. It's very confusing if you don't know what to do, but if you do, then it's an absolute breeze. Definitely easier than the main gameplay. So once you got that done, speaking of that main gameplay, now you're going to have to beat Night 3, so you should probably go check out my guide for that as well. See you guys on Night 4 when there's more stuff to do. Alright, we're in Night 4 now. This one is both easier and a little more complicated. So, you see these tiles on the wall. You've probably heard memes about them if you've been in the FNaF community for a while. So, these are actually numbers, believe it or not. So, the tip of Toy Bunny's guitar over here, where my mouse is, that's a 1. So, here's what we're going to do. So, keeping this keypad in mind, we're going to go 3, 9, 5, 2, 4, 8. That's the code you have to dial into the wall. Ignore the ventilation error, by the way. So once you're in this minigame, then you're just going to hold right, and you'll glitch through the ground over here. You got to go back to that point. This one's a bit confusing. I will warn you guys, it is very confusing. I'm not 100% sure that even I know how to do it. You're just going to walk to the left, and you're going to fall down 2 screens until you're finally back on solid ground. Right. So now that you're on solid ground again, you're going to walk 2 screens to the right, so there's going to be a lot of long walking. And the next part is going to involve some hardcore parkour, believe it or not, if you could ever see Fredbear doing parkour. Alright, so you're going to walk over here and stop. So instead of going through that exit door, we know by now that's a bait. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to jump up on this wall and start climbing it. And when you get close to the top, you're going to hold A, and you're going to go screen over and end up on the right side of this wall, and you're going to go up here. So then you're going to walk through here. You're going to go over to where Spring Bonnie is, jump right there, and it'll boost you through. So now you're going to walk over to the right. You're going to jump up this wall and go up here to the top. Going to go over here. Jump up through there. And now you're going to go over to the left. And once you're here, at the point where you have to climb up the left wall, then you're just going to go right. And you're going to reach the screen. You'll glitch through the wall again. Just make sure you keep holding right, walk up, and give cake to the kid. Alright guys, we are very close to finally getting the good ending. That's about all you have to do for Night 4, if memory serves me correctly. So now you're going to have to move on to Night 5. Once again, be sure to check out my Night 4 guide that I did a while ago if you're unsure of how to beat this night. And I'll see you guys on Night 5 where we can finally finish this. Alright, it is now Night 5, which means that all of these complicated puzzles are about to come to an end. There's just a few more to get through first. So, where my mouse cursor is, there's a plush/figurine of Toy Bonnie. It's probably a bit hard to see, but you're going to move your mouse where mine is and double-click, and it'll take you to this minigame where you're playing as Shadow Bonnie. So now you're going to press S on your keyboard until got stuck in the ground there, until you get to BB's minigame. So now you're going to fly up and jump out the left side of the box here. Then you're going to press S repeatedly until you get to this screen where there's another crying kid, and you will give him cake. Alright guys, so there's only one more minigame to do. It is on night 5, obviously, so let's go ahead and do it so we can finally get this over with, because I've been recording this for almost an hour. The video is probably going to be significantly shorter, but it will be pretty heavily edited. So, alright, so after all that, it's time for the final minigame. So you're going to pull up your monitor, go over to Cam 3, and there's going to be a poster here of the puppet or the marionette. You're going to double click that, and you will be taken to the Happiest Day minigame. This one's pretty simple. All you got to do is walk right. These masks remind me of the mediocre melodies, actually. I wonder if that was intended. I think a few people have brought that up. So anyway, if you did everything right, here's how you can tell. You're going to see these 4 kids stand here on the left, and when you walk to the right, that kid's going to have Golden Freddy's mask, and they're all going to fall. And that's the final minigame that you have to do. Now all that's left is to beat Night 5, which, once again, I have made a guide for as well. So if you're struggling, then be sure to check out that guide. It will show you exactly what you need to do. So, yeah, time to beat Night 5, and I'll see you guys once we finally do that. Alright guys, there we go. I was cutting it a bit close there, starting to get a little worried that I would lose. Alright, so yeah, Night 5 is done, and now you're going to be taken to, I believe, the same minigame that you see, even if you are getting the bad ending, which is this final minigame. We all know what happens. We've all seen it before, whether we played it, we've seen it on YouTube, or seen fan recreations of it, or whatever. This is the infamous moment that William Afton dies in the Springlock suit and becomes Springtrap. So just do as you normally would and walk over here. No Purple Freddy to guide you this time, so hopefully you know where you're going. Go ahead and chase Willie around here for a little while, and then he will eventually flee into the suit. Yeah, there you go. Get in there. There we go. What are you laughing at? There we go. And there's the moment that he gets his karmic justice and becomes Springtrap. And right after this, then, you should see all of your hard work finally pay off, and you should see a screen that says, good ending, and some absolutely awesome music. That is your reward for this. You'll now have another star in the menu, the 2nd, 3rd, or 4th one, depending on how many you've already gotten, and you will have a screen that simply says, the end. All of the heads no longer have eyes in them, but strangely, Golden Freddy's head is missing. There's some interesting foreshadowing there, if you're familiar with the lore. But anyway, yeah, that is it. Hopefully this was pretty straightforward for you guys. Getting the good ending, I think, is a pretty complicated process. It's not difficult. It's just extremely confusing. So, yeah, hopefully you guys were able to get it. I want to listen to this awesome music a little while longer, honestly, and I've got some stuff to talk about, so that is the end of the guide, but might as well talk about future projects now. After completing FNaF 3, so I'll probably, I think, do one more video, which is the Night 6 guide. Then I am going to be taking a break for a little while, not from YouTube, but from live commentary guides. Before I start FNaF 4, this channel has been growing a lot recently, so I want to finally get around to some of the promises that I've made to you guys in the past. The primary 2 of which are going to be the Fazbear Fever guide for FNaF 2 and the 420 mode guide for FNaF 1. Can't promise anything else is going to happen beyond that, and it took me back to the title screen here. I do actually have 4 stars, by the way, but, you know, I wanted to listen to that music a little while longer. It's disappointing, but, yeah, I had to mess around in the game files for a little while, so that's why I only have 2 stars. But anyway, yeah, so I'm going to be working on some post-commentary guides that I've been wanting to work on for a while after this, after the Night 6 guide, that is. I've got a lot of cool collab projects hopefully coming in the future also. You know, the NX cast is tomorrow morning. Got to record for that. That's probably coming out on Friday, I'd assume. And there's some more content creators that I really want to work with also that hopefully I'll be able to make a video with in the future. So anyway, with that being said, thank you guys for watching this guide. I hope it helped you, and I'll see you in the next one.